What's going on, guys? My name is Johnny and thank you for joining me on my channel. In today's video I want to talk about the biggest beginner mistakes when it comes to photography. So if you're a beginner and you just bought your camera or you've been doing it for a little bit but want to get better, avoid these mistakes because I guarantee either you're going to run into them or you've probably seen them yourself. So starting off with the first one, and that is shooting in auto. If you have a mirrorless or a DSLR camera, you never want to shoot in automatic. The only exception would be like autofocus, but I'm talking ISO, shutter speed, and aperture. If you're spending that much money on a camera, you might as well use it to its full potential. And shooting in full manual is really the only way to maximize that capability. An example of this would be shutter speed. So say you go out and want to shoot a waterfall and want to get the silky, smooth water for your photo. If you shoot in auto, all it's going to do is properly expose your photo. So whether that's increasing your ISO or aperture, it won't get the right look you're looking for. However, if you shoot in manual, you can decrease your shutter speed, and this is what gets you that really smooth, silky look of water. My second mistake when it comes to beginner photography is composition. Now, composition can be a video in and of itself, but for this instance, I'm talking not diversifying the type of shots you have. So oftentimes a big mistake people have is when they first get their camera, you just stand right in front of the subject and just take pictures. Think about creative angles such as level changes, changing from a different side, as well as varying your focal length. You'll find that changing up your composition can really change the effect your photo has. The next biggest mistake I see is editing. Now this can go both ways, either not editing your photos or over editing your photos. So by all means, I really do think that you need to be editing your photos, whether you're a beginner or a professional. It just enhances your photos and allows you to become a little more creative and really optimizes your lighting as well as your colors. Now with that being said, I see a lot of beginners buying LUTs or buying presets and then slapping them on or oversaturating their photos, and it just doesn't look right or doesn't look natural. So when it comes to editing your photos, the general rule is that less is more. There are exceptions to this, especially if you're going for like a creative look to it, but generally speaking, for just a very well-balanced photo, just do touch-ups, get the lighting, get the color right, and don't oversaturate your photos. The next mistake I see a lot of beginners making is with flash. Now this kind of pertains more towards in-body type of flash, and the problem with this is using direct flash. Whether you have a pop-up flash on your camera or if you use an external flash and you're shooting it directly at your subject. This is going to create such a harsh light and create separation from the actual ambient light. The trick to this is understanding how to use your external flash as a bounce flash. So a bounce flash is essentially pointing your flash either at the ceiling or a wall and utilizing the ambient light that's being bounced off. With that being said, this kind of renders your on-camera flash useless. So as a rule of thumb, if you have an on-camera flash, don't use it. If you use an external flash, use it as a bounce flash and it'll create a softer light. The last mistake that I see when people get into photography is being gear hungry. Now mind you, I understand for specific shots you do need specific gear, but I'm talking about the people to where they always make an excuse of why their photos don't look good or why they don't go out and pursue a photo shoot because they don't have the right gear and whatnot. Get good with the gear that you have now. Understand your gear, especially if you're a beginner. Understand the full capability of your gear that you have, and then when you're ready to upgrade, go ahead and upgrade. But the only way you're gonna be able to do that is if you keep practicing. So that's my biggest advice to you, is keep putting in the time, keep practicing, and once you finally hit your limit, then upgrade. But that's about it, guys. Those are my beginner mistakes to avoid when you first get into photography. There's so many different approaches when it comes to photography, and I guarantee there's gonna be way more mistakes that you make as you go along. However, I hope that listening to this video allows you to avoid these mistakes and save you time in the future. If you learned something from this video, guys, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you like these type of videos, hit that subscribe button and leave a comment down below for the next video that you guys wanna see. See ya.